Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video I have swatches and polishes and all the good things to share with you all for Little Box of Horrors.
Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
I have my glasses on, so hopefully the glare isn't too bad. I don't have any eye makeup on because I've had a lot of eye irritation, so I had to give my eyes a little bit of a rest. So hopefully the glare isn't too bad. I'm trying to sit like super close to the window so that I can use as much daylight as I can. If you haven't heard of what Little Box of Horrors is, it's a monthly collab between indie makers. It's a smaller collab than what we're used to with like Polished Pickup and Hella Handmade, but every month they get together and they create limited edition items, polishes based off of horror, sci-fi, that sort of mystery theme. For the month of June, the theme is the Sinister Sea. Little Box of Horrors always opens the 22nd of every month and they close on the 30th. Wishlisting does open on the 18th of the month just to give you some time to sort of look through, see if there's anything that you like, put it on your wish list. I find in these smaller collabs that we have a lot of indie makers that are much smaller, like their brands are a little bit smaller. Maybe a lot of people may not have heard of them. So we get that opportunity to check them out, see what they have available, try out their polishes, formulations, and all of that. That is how I got to know a lot of indie brands, is through these like smaller collabs, obviously like the bigger ones as well. But like I said, the smaller collabs, I feel like we have so many more different makers in there. So if you're trying to find a new indie brand or just see what's out there, then definitely check out these smaller collabs and then Little Box of Horrors too. Now, this is a pre-order, so once shop closes on the 30th, you'll get your items, your polishes, all your goodies about 3 to 4 weeks from when shop closes. Certain items are capped, meaning that there's only a certain amount that are created, and once they sell out, that is it. You can't get your hands on them anymore. So let's get into these lovely swatches. We are starting off with BCB Lacquers, and this is When an Eel Bites Your Heel, That's a Moray. This one's priced at $13.75 and capped at $1.50. It's described as a bright green crelly leaning jelly with a strong pink, orange, gold shifting shimmer. So this one had a fantastic formula. I ended up going in for 3 coats just because I felt like I wanted that base just to be a little bit more vibrant. So 3 was perfection. It is crelly, almost jelly in formulation. So needing that 3rd coat, I wasn't super surprised. But I love this shade of green. I feel like I've been seeing so many polishes in this like green tone, like the sea foam jade sort of finish or color as a base. I think it's going to be beautiful for summertime with all of this beautiful shimmer in there. You see some of that pink and a little bit of the gold, but really for me, I feel like the focus is this super bright, like jade sea foamy green. Pictured are 3 coats of BCB Lacquers. When an Eel Bites Your Heel, That's a Moray, with a glossy top coat. Here we have Cracked Polish, and this one is Sparkly Sea Urchin, priced at $13, and there'll be a cap of 200 bottles. The inspiration behind this is like oddities, mermaid daydreams, and anything with a shimmer that dances in the sunlight through haunted waters. So spooky stories, but with some magic. This one's described as a light purple with gold, orange, blue, silver shimmers. So I love how dainty this polish looked on my nails, but what I especially loved were those silver shimmers. I almost thought it was reflective glitter because of how sparkly it was. Now I went in for 3 coats, and 3 coats was perfection. This is like a very like crelly, maybe jelly-like formula, but in 3 coats I got full opacity, and you can see those silver shimmers. It's jam-packed in this polish. They just sparkle and shine all over the place. So the name for this polish definitely works. Sparkly Sea Urchin. The base color is like this really in between purpley pink shade. On me, it definitely leans more on the purple side, like a lavender with that splash of pink in there. And then everything else just ties in so perfectly. Really love this one for summertime. I think this would also be beautiful in the spring if you love to wear seasonal polishes like I do, but thoroughly enjoyed this one. Pictured are 3 coats of Cracked Polish, Sparkly Sea Urchin with a glossy top coat. Gin and Berries is bringing us Keep Urchin Up. This is a glow-in-the-dark polish, priced at $13.50 and capped at 110 bottles. The inspiration is a sea urchin. This one is described as a neon reddish coral base with subtle pink shimmer, and it also glows in the dark pink, and I'll show you that in a little bit, a picture of that one. This one had a fantastic formula, amazing in 2 coats. For those of you who love red polish, like the warmer sort of red polishes, you're really going to enjoy this one. That pink shimmer just warms up this coral base even more. Now those pink shimmers, because this polish, the base color is super, super bright, you can't see them directly, but it does give you that like wink of sparkle at certain angles. It is just so pretty. This is going to make it for a beautiful summer polish, especially on the toes. So we're looking at 2 coats of Jen and Berries. You see the glow in the dark swatch and then the regular swatch with a glossy top coat. Night Owl Lacquer is bringing us Lurking in the Depths. This one's priced at $12.40, and there isn't a cap. It's inspired by the maker's fear of deep water and what you cannot see in it. I totally get that, but this one's a beautiful polish. This one is a dark teal filled with turquoise metallic flakies. So on that first coat, we go on a little bit sheer, like kind of like jelly crelly like. On that second coat, that's when we really start seeing a lot of the metallic flakies. I feel like the main component, the main star of this polish is definitely the metallic flakies. The dark teal base, I guess you can sort of see at certain angles that it does look a little bit dark because you get some shadows, but my oh my, those turquoise metallic flakies are just making this polish super reflective, meaning like the light is just bouncing off of those flakies and giving you so much of that twinkle and sparkle. I ended up doing 3 coats with this one. Felt like that third coat just sort of pulled everything together and really gave me the most opaque finish. Love this one. This is going to be beautiful for summertime as well, and I want to say probably for the winter time too. Like, I like wearing blues in the winter, and I think this would be beautiful for like a nice snowy day. Pictured are 3 coats of Night Owl Lacquer, Lurking in the Depths with a glossy top coat. Here we have Peculiar Polish, and this is Glow Fishin'. This one's also a glow in the dark. So again, I'll show you some pictures or a picture in a little bit. This one's priced at $13.50 and capped at $60. And the inspiration is Glowfish. It is a seafoam green base full of green to blue to gold aurora flakes. And then it glows in the dark when you charge it by UV light. So you will see that as well. This one, again, such a fun base color. You see what I'm talking about with the sea foam? I feel like it's just the color for summertime. Now, I did go in for 3 coats. Just felt like you needed it for full opacity, and this one has a very squishy jelly-like formula. So that third coat, in my opinion, was necessary for me to get a nice, beautiful, opaque look. But what I love the most about this polish are those Aurora Flakies. I love how they just like shift and glint in the lighting. We definitely grab hints of the gold and then a little bit of that blue in certain angles. Like, you can see some of the blue shifts, but I'm getting a lot of that beautiful gold from the Aurora Flakies, and it's just so beautiful. Now I'm gonna show you a picture of it glowing in the dark. So it's super funky, but then it's just gorgeous, swatched in 3 coats on its own. Pictured are 3 coats of Peculiar Polish, Glow Fishin' with a glossy top coat. Another Peculiar Polish, and this one is called Friend Anemone. This one is glow in the dark too, priced at $13.50 and capped at $60. And the inspiration is a sea anemone. I always think of Finding Nemo. This one is a cool tone purple base with purple aurora shimmer and silver reflective glitters, and it's going to glow a deep purple. You'll see that in a little bit. But the aurora shimmer in this polish is super glowy. This one is definitely like a jelly crelly sort of formulation, so I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody on this one. My longer nail friends, you may see a little bit of a nail line because this one's a little bit more sheer than our previous polish, but it's such a beautiful shade of purple. I love how it's a cool tone. I feel like it's definitely going to pop for the summertime. It makes it just look super bright and fun, and that, like I said, that aurora shimmer just running all throughout the nail gives it such a stunning glow. The silver reflective glitters, it's not overbearing, it's just enough to give us some nice twinkle and sparkle. Here it is glowing in the dark, and do not mind my cuticle area. Sometimes reflective glitter sort of settles there and then it just really lights up in the dark. But it's a super pretty purple when it glows in the dark. And we're looking at 3 coats of Peculiar Polish Friend and Enemy with a glossy top coat. Rain Dance Lacquer is bringing us Hidden Blade, priced at $13.50 and capped at $40. The inspiration is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This one is described as a deep teal jelly base that's filled with iridescent flakes that shift fuchsia, gold, and green. So it's definitely a true jelly. You guys can see the bounciness as I'm polishing. I did do 3 coats just to get the most opacity, and I was happy with that. This definitely gives me like pond vibes, especially with the layers of each polish and just how dark the polish base is. The flakies in here are absolutely stunning, super bright. They contrast amazing. You get this very bright fuchsia, you see some of that gold, and you see a little bit of the green. I feel like the green is very sandwiched in between the layers of polish, but those fuchsia flakies are just out there and ready to party. Such a beautiful polish. Again, can go either way if you're a seasonal polish wearer. I feel like this could be summer appropriate, like on a rainy day, because those flakies are super bright, and then bringing it into actually maybe even the fall time, because I can see this in the fall, right? And in the winter time. So definitely a lot of options if you like to wear your polish in certain seasons. Pictured are 3 coats of Rain Dance Lacquer, Hidden Blade with a glossy top coat. Rain Dance Lacquer is also bringing us Black Flag. This one's priced at $13.50 and it's capped at $40. Again, the inspiration is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This one's a medium gray Crelly base. It has shifty iridescent flakies and a subtle lilac magnetic pigment. So you saw that first coat. We go on a little bit here on that second coat. We start seeing a lot of that gray base, and we do get a nice magnetic strip running across. It is subtle, like the description says, but it's enough to stand out and enough to give the polish some depth and dimension. Now I did 2 thicker coats, but you can definitely do 3 thin coats if you want. I was happy with it in 2 coats. I thought it looked beautiful. It gave me this really smoky base, and you have those shifting iridescent flakies running all throughout, so we get glimpses of green and blue and a little bit of yellow, and then with your magnetic strip, that lilac color running throughout, or running across your nail I should say, it really just adds that extra light back within this polish. Pictured are 2 coats of Rain Dance Lacquer Black Flag with a glossy top coat. And our third polish from Rain Dance Lacquer is called Animus. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Priced at $13.50 and also capped at $40. Same inspiration, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This one is a muted pink neon base. It has large particle gold shimmer and scattered holographic micro flakies. Beautiful formula you saw on the second coat. I got full opacity. This is such a pretty shade of pink. I feel like my pictures and just the video isn't doing it justice. It's definitely a super bright polish, and I feel like it's very flattering on my skin tone. Sometimes with these like certain tones of pink polishes, I feel like they just don't look right on my nails, or against my skin tone. But I really enjoyed this one because the formula was so good, super easy to work with, and 2, there's just something about that muted neon pink that is just so pretty. I really enjoyed this one. Pictured are 2 coats of Rain Dance Lacquer Animus with the glossy top coats. Victorian Varnish is bringing us Why Is the Rum Gone? Priced at $13.50 and capped at $150. The inspiration is Jack Sparrow's famous line. It is described as a red rum base with red, orange, bronze, gold shimmer, and it's loaded with ghost flakies. So that first coat, we get a nice wash of color on the nails, and on the second coat, that's when we start seeing that beautiful like bricky tone with like a splash of brown base. Now I went in for 2 coats. Looking at this, could I have done a 3rd coat? I could have, but I thought 2 coats was beautiful. And you can see on the full hand swatch that really that's all that I needed on my nail length. Longer nails, you may want to do like a 3rd thin coat, but 2 coats, as you can see right here, is stunning. So like I said, a beautiful like red brick brown base. Definitely have some brown undertones in here. We can see the beautiful shimmer just running all throughout the nails, and then those ghost flakies just give us some dimension and some mystery into this polish. Pictured are 2 coats of Victorian Varnish. Why is the rum gone? With the glossy top coat. Victorian Varnish is also bringing us a Dreadful Bond, priced at $13.50, and the inspiration is Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean. This one's a navy jelly with purple pink shimmer, and it has a host of different ghost flakies and UCC flakies with scattered hollow flakies. So lots of fun flakies in this one. So same thing, first coat we get a nice wash of color. Second coat we are building up that navy sort of base. Like it definitely has some hints of lavender in there, and it could be that purple pink shimmer. I did go in for a third coat, and that was perfection. So opacity on the third coat. So I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody on this one. It's definitely jelly in formulation, but it does build up wonderfully. Now we get a lot of that purpley pink shimmer running all throughout the nail, and we can see all the glorious flakies just scattered all over the nail. We get lots of different colors, blue, yellow, gold, with the flakies in there. It is so pretty. We get some hints of sparkle, and I think it's just the flakies bouncing with the light, that scattered hollow flaky that's in there too. That's where we get a lot of the glimpses of the sparkle as well. So very beautiful polish with all the lovely components that we see here. Pictured are 3 coats of Victorian Varnish, a Dreadful Bond with a glossy top coat. Victorian Varnish is also bringing us their Lavish hand and cuticle cream in the scent Seize the Day, priced at $8.50 and capped at $50. So the inspiration, what I'm gathering here is it's like a sultry, juicy scent, which salty and juicy, do they go together? They do now. So you have peach, you have blood orange, you have warm spice. It has a pump, so you just pump out your product and it comes right out onto the hand. It's a very thick product, but it's not thick that it's going to leave your hand greasy. It's thick in a sense where it's going to do the job. I love this hand cream. I give it to all of my friends, my co-workers. The ingredients in here are amazing. Coconut oil, grapeseed oil. You have a lot of things that are really going to hydrate your hands and your nails, cuticles, and give you the moisture that you really need. It's going to keep your hands moisturized and keep them nice and healthy. Love this stuff. I use it multiple times a day. It's amazing. So definitely give it a shot. If the scents don't do it for you, don't worry. Victorian Varnish will come back with another scent that I'm sure you will enjoy. And Victorian Varnish is also bringing us a cuticle oil. So Seize the Day is the same scent, priced at $8.50 and capped at $50. Guys, when you see this product, you're going to go crazy. Look at how cute this is. It is a dagger style cuticle oil pen, I guess you can say. It does twist open. It goes so well with theme. I just love this. It packages very well. It holds up well in transport. When I got it, I had no leakage or anything like that. The product is amazing in itself. Again, a lot of amazing ingredients. You guys can see all of that on the website. But I think this is so cute, and I can't wait to carry it around and just apply it for people just to say, hey, like, what is that? Zombie Claw is bringing us Pretty Evil Mermaid, priced at $13.75 and capped at $75. This one's inspired by a Pretty Little Evil Mermaid drawing. It's a turquoise base with neon glitters. So this is super, super jelly in formulation. Could you use this as a topper? You could. Could you use it as like sandwiching, like making a jelly sandwich? Absolutely, and I think that's probably the best way to use this, or just to build it up on its own. You can see I did 3 coats. It went on nice and smoothly. I love the neon glitters in here. I love how they're chunky, and they really just draw your attention to this polish because, one, they're super bright, and it's just like the focus of this polish. Now, as for like fishing around with them, I don't think you have to do anything super extra for like fishing. They're going to come out of the bottle, but for placement, you might want to because they might slip around because of the jelly base that we're working with. So definitely build this one up on its own or use it as a jelly sandwich. It's going to be super fun for summer. Pictured are 3 coats of Zombie Claw, Pretty Evil Mermaid with a glossy top coat. Favorites. Rain Dance Lacquer, and I think I'm saying this right, Animus. I'm not sure, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll leave a picture here. This one I feel like in person, it just looks so much more brighter and just more juicier. That like muted corally pink looks really nice in person. And sometimes with those like muted pinks, like when I wear a pink, it has to be like that right tone of pink. Usually like mid-tone pinks, it has to be like a really good formula, have like good components, because I don't typically love mid-tone pinks. This one, it leans on like the peachy corally side on my skin tone anyways, but I think it looks so good. I love it more looking at it like in person on my hands as opposed to looking at it in the pictures. It just looks so much more beautiful. Like pictures just don't do that polish justice. And then Night Owl Lacquer, lurking in the depths. That one was beautiful. Such a nice teal shade. Again, another beautiful summer polish. I know the description says it's a dark teal, and that could be true for the actual base, but I think because it has so many of those metallic flakies in there, it's just amplifying that polish and making it look so much brighter, so much more like reflective with those flakies just hitting the light or hitting certain angles of light. It is beautiful. All right, everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes. There's actually one I've been eyeing that I didn't swatch, and it's sort of a new to me brand. It's called Nothing Basic. That's the polish brand, and the polish is called Serena. It's a blue jelly base. I'm like reading the description, and it has pink orange flakies and blue reflective glitter. I saw this and I was like, ooh, that one's really pretty. Have you tried this brand? Let me know. Have you tried this brand before? And are you eyeing this one too? Because that one caught my eye for sure. But besides that, let me know what you are planning on picking up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.